Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to the final video, the extra video of the Simpsons Hit and Run. We have officially 100% of this game, but there are a few secrets that I wanted to go over before we ended this project. First of all, now that we have all of the level collector cards, actually, you know what? There is one thing else I have to do. Let's do that first. So we'll go to just really quickly the first level of level 7, because I didn't go over all the collector cards. That is something I haven't done yet, so I'll do that first while I'm thinking about it. I'm glad I said the word collector cards, because that kind of put in my mind, oh right, I didn't technically do that. So the collector cards for level 7, they're all Halloween themed, based off the Treehouse of Horror specials. We have the Forbidden Donut in... Yeah, the Soul Donut... Wait, oh yeah, okay. I get it. It's using the name of the short in that particular Treehouse of Horror special. So this is the Forbidden Donut in Treehouse of Horror 4 from The Devil and Homer Simpson. Basically, Homer sells his soul for a donut, and if he eats the donut, he has to do Satan's bidding. But thankfully it worked all right for Homer, and instead he just got a donut planted on his head instead, so that's pretty much what it is. So next up we have the evil Krusty doll from Clown Without Pity, which is in the third Treehouse of Horror special. This talking doll was bent on murdering Homer until the repairman was called in to set its switch to good instead of evil. Here we have the how to cook humans, how to cook for humans, how to cook 40 humans, how to cook for 40 humans. The cookbook that was in the very first Treehouse of Horror special, and it was part of Hungry Are the Damned. It's basically when the Simpsons get captured by the aliens. The aliens' first appearance, by the way. And, yeah, just a nice little fun visual gag in that episode. Next we have the time-traveling toaster from perhaps my favorite Treehouse of Horror, Treehouse of Horror 5. Just got really, really great stories in that one. And I especially love this one. Basically, it's a toaster that Homer tries to fix and instead turns into a time machine where he goes back to the future, does things he's not supposed to, and just changes the future dramatically. It's just a really, really fun episode. I really enjoy that. Next up, we have the Hell to Pay from... I want to say it's Treehouse of Horror 8. It's either 8 or 9. I want to say it's 8, though. But yeah, basically, Snake dies. Homer gets a hair transplant, but when he gets his hair transplant, he kind of starts turning into Snake and starts murdering people. So that's what that one is. It's a pretty solid episode. Here's the Monkey Paw from Treehouse of Horror 2, Lisa's Nightmare. A cursed monkey's paw sold to Homer by the former president of Algeria. And finally, we have the lousy Smarch weather of the Smarch calendar. Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. I want to say... I think it's Treehouse of Horror 7. It's either 7 or 6. I want to say it's 7, though. But yeah, Willie dies on the 13th hour of the 13th day of the 13th month. Lousy Smarch weather. But yeah, that's basically what that is. Okay, so those are all the cards. Now that we've gone over all of the cards in this game, let's go to level 3. Because if you remember, there is a movie ticket that the comic book guy was going to give us once we got all of the collector cards. So we are going to very quickly grab that. Now that we have all the collector cards.
A complete set! Ooh, I think I just formatted my pants.
And then we talk to the squeaky voiced teen at the Aztec Theater, which is in this level. So now we're going to drive down there and meet up with him, and we'll watch a fun little short. Now, I think in past playthroughs I didn't actually show this off, but I will show it off here, because I think we'll be fine.
Am I old enough to drink coffee yet?
I don't think this is necessarily protected, much like anything else in the game, so... I think I can get away with showing this.
I hope these are recyclable.
And there we go. We get a nice little itchy and scratchy episode, which is kind of cool. There we go. That's gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and save my game really quick just to make sure that we got that. And then I'm gonna check my game stats afterwards. So let's go ahead, quit our game, go back to the main menu, and let's see. Go to our scrapbook here. Game stats, 100%. We've gotten everything, guys. So yeah, that's basically it for the game stats. You can also look at the book and look at all of the collector cards, which is kind of cool. You can also take a look at all the vehicles as well. Which is kind of nice. Oh, you even get like little medals for it too. So I guess one thing I could mention is that essentially once you after you do a mission a couple of times, and if you can't beat the mission for any reason, you can actually skip missions, which is something I didn't really talk about too much. And I think if you skip a mission, you actually don't get the credit for completing it. So that's how you can, like, essentially beat the game with a low % run or something of that nature. But, like, I don't know all the obvious details, but, yeah, you definitely can skip missions. I know that for a fact. But, yeah, that's pretty much, something else that I kind of felt like mentioning. But yeah, you can take a look at all of your clothes, all of your vehicles, all the collector cards as well. Just a kind of again, a nice little just archive to all you've gotten in this game. And that's basically what the scrapbook is. And I guess that medal over there is basically showing that, hey, we got everything. So there you go. Next up, options. Not really a lot to say here. You can view the movies, the credits, change some of your controller and sound options if you want. And last but not least, we have the bonus game. The bonus game is kind of a fun little, not really a two-player mode. You can make it 2 players, obviously. But, you can play through a couple tracks. Whenever you get all the collector cards, you can actually unlock more tracks to this, so that's kind of why there's multiple, and whenever you've gotten all the collector cards for a level, it's like, oh, you unlocked a new thing in bonus tracks. So just for fun, let's just kind of go through a couple of these. I think we can just do 3 laps, and you can also change like the direction of the track and whatnot. You also choose your character too. Let's use Apu. And yeah, you can just wait for other players or not, so again, do what you want. But I'll show off these bonus tracks just for fun. And another thing you can do is you can also have 2 different types of views for this. You have kind of like an overhead view, but I believe there's also, yeah, you can do a first-person view too. So you don't have to necessarily just go on the overhead view. When I first played this, I actually did not realize that. I thought you had to go with the overhead view, which naturally, like, is not good. It's not a good view to use. So the sooner I found out that, oh, you can change the camera, I was like, yeah, this is definitely good. Makes this way more playable, at least in my opinion. With that being said, though, like, I wouldn't say this is, like, an incredibly, like, open-ended and super amazing, like, extra mode. In fact, it kind of controls a little, I don't want to say weirdly, but, you know, kind of different from what you've expected in this game so far. I'd almost rather, like, race on, like, larger versions of, like, all the other tracks we've done, for example. I think that would probably be a little more entertaining, at least in my opinion. So let's go ahead and do another track. Can I change my car at all? Yeah, let's use Marge. Okay, you can change your car. You can pretty much, looks like you can use any car in the game. Holy crap, you can use any car in the game. Here, let's use this. We'll use Homer's sports car. I forgot what button I pressed for the camera again, though. Whoa, I just turned around completely. Oh, you actually have, like, boosts as well. I didn't even realize that. Okay. It's the down on the control pad. That's the button you press. Okay, I'm gonna quit and try this again. Now that I know what exactly I'm doing here. But I mean, if you like the overhead view, by all means use it, but I'm just not a fan of that playstyle. My God, game. Don't be like that. I'd almost say, like, worse cars are probably better for this, since I don't imagine there being, like, a lot of straightaways here. Cars that have, like, a lot of handling are probably also really good. Oh no! Okay, so no, not racing that again. Let's try going the opposite way on this one. Please, Bart. Let's just use the honor roller since we haven't used that in a while. But yeah, what you see here is pretty much what you get. Nothing like super amazing. Maybe a small time waster if you have like some friends over or something, but even then, why do this when you could play like Mario Kart or something of that nature? So I love how the monster truck is here. Maybe like all those like smaller like hidden cars are also available.
Homer go boom!
Dear.
Homer go boom! Am I actually going to win this race because of that? Oh no! Okay, player 2 won. Dang it, Lisa. Where'd you come from? Okay. Next, let's use Homer, I guess. Let's put him in the Malibu Stacy car. Okay. It is kind of cool how they kind of made like little versions of all the levels we've done before. Like they're like super condensed versions of all the levels, which is pretty crazy to think about. Lisa, I know you're mad at me for taking your car, but it doesn't mean you have to make me lose. Or maybe it does, I don't know. Who's to say, really? Okay, that was pretty bad. We'll go reverse on this one. We'll use... I don't think I actually finished with Marge. Let's use the hearse on this one just for fun. Man, this level looks pretty intense compared to the other ones.
Oh my.
Yeah, I just feel like this is like really, really turn heavy. And not in a great way. It's turn heavy in the sense where there's a lot of turns, which I mean you should expect for races, but it's almost too many turns at once. So like you can't really get enough speed going through everything.
My bad.
Yes, Marge, it is your bad. I feel like I made the wrong turn there. I think I totally did. Because I think the flag is supposed to show whenever you make a correct lap. I think anyway. God only knows. Yeah, I feel like that wasn't 3 laps, but what do I know? Okay, well... honestly, like, I'm not doing terrible. The person who has the most wins actually got last in that one. I'll go back to using Apu. We'll use this. So let's go ahead and see what we got this time. Now we're back at the level 3 courses. This is going to be less focusing on the docks and more on the dam, I guess. I guess that is kind of a cool aspect of this, is it does kind of feature, like... because, you know, there's, like, a lot of really cool aspects of all these levels
This is
that
good.
you may not get to see, like, all all of them because you're like either focusing too much time on like the squid port or, you know, in the power plant in the case of the first level. So it's kind of cool that this mode recognizes that all these levels have like these really unique set pieces, and they actually broadcast them pretty evenly. Bart, what is with that scream right there? I don't get that.
What a poor decision!
Whee! Look at me, I'm flying!
Ah! Damn, I actually got last right there. Oh no, I didn't. I got third. I was about to get last there, though. That was a pretty rough one. Everyone fell off. Everyone kept falling off of that one. But yeah, just one more. I won't even watch which one we pick. Don't know if that's backwards or forwards. We'll just go with Homer to end it off. What's the funniest car I can use? Let's use the cola truck. Let's just use the most terrible idea ever and use the cola truck. Oh wow, there's some interesting car choices here. God, this thing is so damn slow. Pretty interesting level, though. Like, there's lava here. Oh.
This is bad.
That's kind of interesting. You drive on spikes.
I have no insurance!
Oh my god, I can't move! I'm trying to back up, but I can't back up because there's a guy behind me. Oh my god, this is awful. Cola truck, just best car in the game. It's not. Why would you ever think that?
No, I have a wedgie! Go boom!
I love how it like pushed me out the spikes when I landed on the spikes. Here, you stay over there. I'm not getting last place.
No!
Not this again. Oh my god, this level.
Ow! My neck!
I'm trying to explode the car. See if I can, like, disqualify someone for destroying their car. Oh, no, he recovered. I didn't want that to happen. Ah, dang. That was kind of fun, though. That was kind of fun, just like trying to screw them over with the cola truck. But definitely not a car you want to choose for that. Okay, well, that's going to do it for the bonus mode. There's nothing more, and yeah, it's kind of just, almost just kind of throwaway. Honestly, I think I would have liked it more if they used the actual, like, open worlds that they made, the sandbox worlds for this game. Because, you know, there's a lot of really cool stuff to, like, find and explore and stuff, so I think that would have been probably better, honestly. But yeah, that is going to do it for the Simpsons Hit and Run playthrough. Once again, I want to thank all the people who came to watch all these videos. It was a blast doing this game again. I know there were a lot of people who came back just because I did this series again. The first video of this series, although it doesn't have the amount of views as the very first video of the old project, obviously, but, you know, that's been like the highest viewed video that I've had in a while, so, you know, definitely cool to see a lot of people, a lot of old Star Warriors come back to enjoy this with me. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was great celebrating this many years of my YouTube channel. So very quickly before we end, a few quick announcements. Like I said in the last video, If you guys have any ideas or any suggestions for what my next replay project is going to be, I would like to hear those, so let me know in the video descriptions or the video comments of the last video, probably more accurate because I actually addressed it there. But yeah, let me know what other projects you'd like me to do in the future, and maybe I'll give that a consideration for, this coming year or something. So we'll see what happens. Second announcement is I would like to officially announce, since this is a Simpsons project, that I will be getting back to the Simpsons retrospective that I was working on my website. I have an entire retrospective where I basically looked at, rewatched, and kind of give a mini review slash just look back at the first season of The Simpsons, and I'd like to continue on to season 2. So I am going to be getting started with that very soon. It's going to be probably happening in either September or October, just because there is a particular episode in season 2 that I would like to review in October. So, just to give you a hint of why I'm waiting until then. But that will be coming back. I do want to go back and do that again because that was a lot of fun, and this series really kind of brought my interest back in that. And finally, there is actually something I would like to kind of advertise or kind of talk about. I don't have all the information. I'll just put a link to the Twitter account, maybe even the website of where you can find this project, but I want to give a huge shout out to the Donut Mod team. Donut Mod is basically a program that's been developed by hardcore fans of The Simpsons HIt and Run, where basically, because The Simpsons HIt and Run 2 is a game that may never ever see the light of day, there's actually been a community kind of dedicated to the game to make mods for this game. And they've made a lot of very interesting progress over the last several years. If you go on YouTube and search for hit and run mods, you can actually find like different mods, different missions that they've actually created into the game. And, this is something that I may actually consider taking a look at in the future. The only problem is I have to do this on PC, and my PC is not really the strongest gaming computer. So it's not something I'll be doing in the immediate future, but when I kind of get things more stable, maybe a more powerful PC, that is potentially something that I could do as some extra videos, some extra content on my channel, maybe even some streams at some point. That is something I'd be very interested in doing because honestly I love hit and run, and it'd be cool to kind of keep the hit and run train going instead of doing just another replay project 10 years from now. So yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to be getting into or looking into a little more in the coming months, coming year or so. But yeah, that is something I did want to kind of talk about and advertise because there's a lot of really cool people on board with that project. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to bring out at the outro here. So thanks again to everyone for watching. This was a blast to work on, and I will see you guys in the next project, wherever that might be. Later, folks.